Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the first Webishop in the Strategic Success Planning series. This Webishop is on why, and even though this is the first Webishop, you don't have to watch them in order. It will make more sense if you do, and it will make things easier. It's better to know why you're doing something before you work on your vision or your mission, or even your strategy for what you're doing. Knowing why is very important, or like I like to say, is what is your sizzle? Think about a sizzle. Think about a sizzle that you've heard recently. Maybe it was vegetables sizzling in a pan, or a slice of meat sizzling on a barbecue. Sizzle brings out an emotion, an enticement, doesn't it? It's a lot more than just a sound. It can make your mouth water. It can make you hungry. Oh, and as a sidebar, if you do get hungry by me saying this, you don't have to stop the Webishop. Put it on your phone. Our Webishops work on telephones. They work telephones. Geez, do they even have telephones anymore? They work on your smartphone. They'll work on your tablet, your computer, laptop, whatever you've got. It'll work. If it doesn't work, let me know because I want to find out about that. So think of a sizzle, and your sizzle is really, it's your why. It's what you're passionate about. But you got to be careful about the sizzle. You want to make sure that it really is your sizzle. And this is, to me, the issue of going to a positive motivational speaker or motivational guru, whatever they're going to call themselves these days, is they sell sizzle. They sell a very compelling, very passionate story that really gets you motivated. But the reason the motivation doesn't last long is because it's their story. It's their sizzle. It's not yours. So you want to find your sizzle. You want to find your own story. You want to really define your own why. Why are you doing this? What is the reasoning behind it? Like I said, your story is your why, and you want to write it down, because you can't tell other people your story unless you know exactly what it is. And it's way too often that people say, oh, I'll write it down later, or I'll do this another time. This is not a seminar. This is a Webishop. The shop part means workshop. This means you want to do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to be as successful as if you did. And 99 out of 100 times, that's true. You might be the 1 out of 100 that becomes successful anyway. But there's an interesting correlation. 85% of all businesses, small businesses especially, fail in the first 18 months. And 85% of all small businesses do not do things like their why, their vision, their mission, their strategy, and things like that. I don't think that's a coincidence. Of course, this isn't just about business. Your why could be about your family, about planning a family, about your personal life. Why are you going down the road you're going? Maybe you need to change that road. It could be about business. It could be about your career. Why are you in the job you have? You really want to figure out why. When you think of why, does the first thing that come to mind, is it dollar signs? For a lot of people it is. But I'm going to tell you, money has little to do with your why. Money is just a means to an end. So if you see dollar signs, I'm going to encourage you to take it further. What's behind those dollar signs? You might say, I want to be a millionaire. Why do you want to be a millionaire? Well, so I can have $1 million. Why do you want $1 million? Because if you think about it, then picture a dollar bill. It's what? Cotton and paper, I believe, or maybe just cotton, whatever it might be. And that's U.S. currency. Other currencies might be other things. In fact, I know that some countries are using plastic now in their bills. And if it's plastic, you got to think plastic isn't even going to burn well. So what really is the use? Your why isn't going to be money. It's going to be what that money is going to buy. Is it going to be a better house? Is it going to be a more secure lifestyle? Is it what's that mean? Is it going to be travel? Whatever that why is, you're probably going to find out that it's really not money. Because if your only goal is to accumulate money, then you'll be the richest dead person in the cemetery. And someone else will spend your money. So you may as well spend it yourself. So really get behind that. And here are some good questions to ask. Of course, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's behind that? Especially if it's money. What's behind that? You know, why do I want to work for a very large corporation and make a minimum of $85,000 a year? Well, when I was younger, my parents didn't have great jobs. They were more transient. We didn't have a lot of things we wanted. I don't want that for my kids. Great. I don't want that for me. That's great. That's a good why. But you want stability. You know? Some people will say, hey, I want to make a certain amount of money because I want to spend a certain amount of time traveling. Or I want to be able to give some of it away to people that are less fortunate than I am. Those are all fantastic whys. So when you ask, why am I doing what I'm doing? Ask, what's behind that? And if you have a habit of not reaching your goals, if you're ever having a habit figuring out what your why really is, ask yourself, are limiting beliefs stopping me? So as a coach, I love shattering limiting beliefs. And now you're going to hear a bit about my why. I had some severe limiting beliefs, and it took me many years to shatter them. I did it mostly on my own with a little bit of help from some people who mistakenly gave me advice. But I didn't have anyone particular helping me out. So as a coach, I want you to know that if you're having trouble with limiting beliefs, I would be happy to help you try to shatter those. No guarantees, of course, but I will do everything I can. So are limiting beliefs stopping me? And if I changed my beliefs, what would be possible? One of my favorite questions is, if there were nothing to stop you, what would you do? And that's that same question phrased another way. If I changed my beliefs, what would be possible? If I were able to get around my beliefs, what would be possible? What could I do? And of course, what am I passionate about? That's going to lead directly to your why. What gives me energy? What gets me out of bed in the morning? And I know a person who dreads getting out of bed, but only Monday through Friday. Friday's not so bad. Monday's really bad. He loves getting out of bed Saturday and Sunday because he doesn't have to work. Monday through Friday, he dreads getting out of bed because he has to work. He doesn't like his job, but it pays him very well. My thought is, would I really want to be in a job that I hate, no matter how much it pays? I've actually been there. I left the job within a year. I couldn't do it. Some people can, some can't. I can't. It saps my energy. I have to do what I love to do, even if I get paid less. So, but what saps your energy? These are going to be some reasons, some of the things to look at when you're developing your why. It's like, when you look at the things that sap your energy, you'll see things that aren't your why. Knowing what isn't your why will help you towards your why. But what gives you energy? What gets you out of bed? What makes you look forward to the next day? That could definitely be a part of your why. Now, most of this has been about personal and looking at it from a personal perspective. But each of these Webishops is geared towards not just personal, but organizations, teams, business owners, people with careers, executive managers, you name it. So this really works with a person who has a job or is personal, looking for why for your family, whatever that might be. But next we're going to go into for businesses, and this really is, if you look at a corporation, your average large corporation, chances are the people in that corporation know what they do. So you could ask somebody, hey, what do you do? Well, I make cotton balls. I'm on the assembly line for cotton balls, and I make sure that the cotton balls are as round as they can be. I don't know if there's an actual position that does that, but let's pretend. So he knows what he does. He makes cotton balls. The girl next to him, what does she do? Well, she helps make the bags that the cotton balls go into. She knows what she does. This is important for the people in an organization to know what they do. If they don't know what they're doing, chances are they're not going to be able to get much done. It's also important that they know how to do it. I make cotton balls. I make them as round as I can. There's a machine that actually does it, but I have to configure that machine so that it makes a round enough ball, or it squishes it right to for the laser cutter. However it gets cut, I don't personally know. But the person who does that has to know how they're doing what they're doing. If they don't know how, definitely a training issue there. And most people in most organizations know what they do, and they know how to do it. But most people in most organizations do not know why they're doing it. And this is really big with corporations where you've got a second or a third generation person running the corporation. I'm going to pick on Ford. Ford became a great corporation. Henry Ford did a good job. When he passed away and his heirs took over, the company went down. They didn't have the why that he had. You see this quite a lot. Organizations very often struggle with generational issues. When the generation that figured out the why either lets go of the reins, passes away, whatever they do, retires, the second generation comes in, they don't have the same why. And if they don't figure out their own why, then they are not going to last. It's statistically, I mean, there's some organizations that will, no matter what, if you make pencils, and that's what you do, and your father made pencils, and so and chances are people are still going to need pencils, and so the why may not destroy the corporation if you don't have the same why as your father did. But I even look at the Iron Man movies. I think it's interesting. I remember Tony Stark, the character, saying, "Hey, this is what my dad did. This is what I'm doing. It's working, so let's keep doing it." Well, he was talking about weapons of mass destruction. And it wasn't much longer into the movie when he changed his corporation to get rid of developing weapons. Why did he do that? Because his why changed. He saw what those weapons were doing. He created a new why that he needed to live by, and therefore he changed the company that he was running because of that. That's a really good example of changing the why. Changing the why might change the company, whether it's a big company or a small company. But if you're the new person that's running the company, that's okay. Because you've got to have your why. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out your why, or if limiting beliefs are blocking you in any way whatsoever, I ask you to please contact me. Phone number and website are right on there. Use the contact form from the website if you want. I'd be happy to help you out. I don't remember if I said this at the beginning, but I'm Ty Belknap. I'm your humble host. You can ask for me if I don't answer, or one of our other people could do it. If you want in-person coaching and I'm not close to you, I could see if I could find a coach that is close to you as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope this is informative to you. Remember, there are 4 other Webishops available. There'll be one coming out every few weeks. So if you're watching this right when it first came out, then I look forward to seeing you at the next one. And you take care.